going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yo, 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 tell me what you know. Welcome to the Sunshine Show. Woo! Tonight, we have the amazing, the fabulous, the most beautiful, the one, the only, Kellie Nowell. Hello, Kellie. What's going on?
Hi, Sunshine. Thank you so much for having me back. I feel really privileged to be on twice.
Oh, my pleasure. I'm so happy that you're able to join us tonight. I'm super excited about catching up with you and finding out everything that's been going on with the Nowell Family Foundation since I talked to you the last time, almost 6 months ago.
Oh my gosh, has it been 6 months already? That's
Yeah,
crazy.
I'm so happy that you're able to join us tonight. Sorry about that. Okay. Cool. So yeah, last time I talked to you was in October, so almost 6 months.
Wow.
And it was such a great chat, and I'm so glad that we get to catch up. What have you been up to?
Well, we've done a few things. Of course, we had the deluxe edition of the House That Bradley Built album came out January 15th. So right after you and I talked, or right before you and I talked, we had released the first album, which was a 2 vinyl set. And that had about 25 songs. And then on January 15th, we released the deluxe edition of The House That Bradley Built, which is a 3 CD disc set. And that's got about, I think, 55 tracks on it. So it includes all of the songs from the first one, plus another 30 something more. And it's been so much fun. Just so exciting hearing all the enthusiasm from the people who got the album, from the artists, from people discovering new music, which has been the best part for me. I absolutely love it when people are like, oh, I'd never heard so-and-so before, and now I love their music. I'm like, that's exactly what should be happening. And so that makes me super happy. So that's been really exciting.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I'm looking at the list of people that you guys got on this album, and it ranges from, let's see, we have Common Kings, The Descendants, Long Beach Dub All-Stars, Half Pint, G-Love, Pepper, Johnny Cosmic, Trevor Young of Soldier. We have Hyrie, Mad Caddies, The Skints, Sideways, The Movement, Leilani, Wolfgram, Ballyhoo, Orb, Analia, The Expanders, some members of Pennywise, Ross One, Tunnel Vision, Nice Mike, members of the Ziggins, and then we have your dad and nephew.
Yeah, that was a fun one. That one, I think most of those were from the first release. So that was really fun. And then getting to hear them all, all the excitement again with the deluxe edition, having all those on there. And I think it reached some different people too, because, not everybody's into vinyl, which I get, and so the first release was just vinyl. So this has been cool because a lot of people who weren't able to enjoy it because the first release was just vinyl have been able to grab the CDs on this one. So that's been really neat.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so I didn't realize that was a huge distinction between the
two. Yeah. So the first one was just the 2 disc vinyl set. And then the deluxe edition is just a 3 CD disc set.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then you also have the option of just downloading it online.
Yep. Yeah. It's also available as a digital download. Both of them are.
There.
And of course, it's on Spotify and Amazon and all that kind of stuff.
So tell me what it was like working with Law and all these amazing artists.
Law Records is absolutely incredible. And that's another thing that's happened since I saw you last. So in December, they gave us the first proceeds from the album sales, and they gave us a check for $25,000, which was right. I know. So amazing. And I don't know, so many people are like, oh, I'd love to help, but, I don't know what people can do, and I don't know how to put them to work, and so just having somebody come to me and say, hey, I can do this. Would that be all right? It's like, sure. And they just have done such an incredible job. I never could have done this in my wildest dreams. I mean, I just couldn't. And seeing all the work that they put into it, absolutely free. I mean, all of the proceeds from this go to the foundation. And so, it's just covering the basic costs, and then all the rest is for the foundation. And that's really been a game changer for us, not only with the donations, but also with the exposure. I mean, it's been such great exposure because not only are more people hearing about it because of the album in general, but each of those artists is promoting the album. And so then that introduces the foundation to their whole fan base and audience. So that's been really cool too. I mean, it's just the past year has been really incredible for us. And I feel so fortunate because with COVID, it's been a tough year for most people, you know? And so for us to be able to say this, that 2020 was our best year yet, we feel really, really fortunate.
Oh my goodness, that just, I have the hugest smile on my face right now. It's just, I love hearing that. Some people have had a really hard time with 2020 and even going into 2021 because COVID
Yeah.
really dampened a lot of people's spirits. And it's so, so wonderful to hear when people are really just thriving during this time. And that makes me so happy, Kellie.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, like I said, we feel so fortunate. I mean, there have been a lot of changes, obviously, but I think that that's been the key throughout COVID for everybody, is just finding new ways to cope, finding new ways to, satisfy our needs for music and for connection and all of that, and it's been tough in a lot of ways. But as I said, we feel really blessed that so many people have stepped up to be a part of what we're doing. And we just did a live stream in honor of Bradley's birthday. He would have turned 53 last Monday. I like to remind people of his age because he is older than me. He died at 28, so he gets to be 28 forever. And so people are always like, oh, are you his older sister? No, I'm not. He just died and now he gets to be 28 forever. And I keep aging. Thank you, Brad. But so anyway, he would have been 53 last Monday. So in honor of his birthday, we did a couple of things. We had a live stream 2 days before on Saturday, February 20th, and it's still available on YouTube, Law Records, YouTube, and Root Fire. It was so great. We had 20 different artists who had contributed to the album that were, able to be a part of it and send us a few songs. And they all at least did their song that they had done on the album, and then one or two others of their own songs. And it was so much fun. We did have one group that was not from the album, but they are, that was Wes Gear and his band Human, and he's actually on our board. So we let our board members do whatever they want to do.
Oh, and not to interrupt you, but I was watching the live stream and I actually caught that performance, and his voice, holy
right. Yeah. His vocalist is amazing, so talented. And I don't know, honestly, I don't know a whole lot about the other guys in the band, but Wes has been in a lot of, big name bands and stuff. And he has his own nonprofit organization called Rock to Recovery that does amazing work. They go into all different types of treatment programs, and they bring music in, and they use music as a way to, as an outlet for therapy and for recovery. And he's got an incredible, so yeah, Rock to Recovery, definitely check that out. But so yeah, we were fortunate enough to get him to do a couple of songs as well. So he covered Pool Shark, and then they did one of their original songs. That was neat because I'd never had a chance to hear them live before. So that was fun. Yeah. And then on Brad's actual birthday last Monday, we did a day of giving, and we had a bunch of special merchandise bundles on our website. And that's what we're packing up right now. So it was really cool.
So it was, so you guys did pretty good then.
We did. Yeah. Everybody was so great and just really stepped up and made it a really, really successful day. So it was our first time doing a really big push like that. And it was great. It was a lot of fun. We learned a lot. We learned, how to make it better next time. And, but as a nonprofit, we're always going to be needing to raise money. It's always going to be from, individual donations, from grants, from corporate matching, from anything, so we're always trying to come up with new and interesting ways to make it a benefit to people too. If they're going to donate anyway, hey, here's a little something for it, whether it's the live stream or these merch bundles or something. And then of course that also helps to spread the word as well. So, and I see you're wearing your hat, so thank you so much, Sunshine. You're awesome.
Everybody at home, you should go get yourself a Bradley's House hat. They are not only very comfortable, but very classy and classic. And I wear it with all of my
I love it. I love it. Tell me your dog's name.
His name is Tadpole Miles, the loneliest monk.
I love him. He's absolutely adorable. I had the pleasure today of meeting my nephew's latest edition. So Jacob, Brad's son, just got a hairless cat, a Sphinx cat.
Oh man, I want one so bad.
Okay, can I just tell you, I wasn't sure what to expect because the whole hairless thing, and it does take a little getting used to, but he is the coolest cat. He's more like a dog than a cat. his
Yeah.
personality. He's the coolest. He was cruising around. I was over at my dad's house, and so they brought him, and he was just cruising around saying hi to everybody like a dog would, like running around everybody in the room and greeting everyone and checking everything out. And he had a very interesting feel to him, being hairless.
Yeah, they are very cool looking and very, the thing with like hairless dogs is that this is actually an ancient Aztec breed. The hairless
Wow.
dog originated from the Chihuahua, or sorry, Chihuahuas originate from the hairless dog, but Aztecs would use them when they were sick for like healing, because they feel very warm without the
Yeah.
they radiate the body heat.
Interesting.
Jared here says that it looks like a ball sack. Thank you so much, Jared.
Yeah, I've heard that too about the cat. Someone asked me that. In fact, I think when it was one of my kids, when I got home, I said, "Oh, I got to meet Jacob's new cat." He said, "Oh, did it feel like a ball sack?" I said, yeah, it kind of did, but it was a bit cuddlier. Can I say that? It was a little cuddlier. Not that ball sacks are not cuddly. They're not all cuddly. Let's be honest.
Yes, no, I don't know. I haven't found a cuddly ball sack yet. But I don't know.
Keep looking. I'm sure they're out there.
Oh my gosh, Kellie! I don't know where we went on this. Okay, thank you, Jared, for that.
Which Jarrett was that?
Your buddy, your podcast buddy.
Was that Jarrett or?
Yeah.
I had a feeling when I heard the question. Yeah. So Jarrett and I started doing a podcast called Bradley's House a few months ago, I think it was. And that's been a lot of fun too. We've been talking to different people connected to Sublime, or some of my family members, different musicians, people in recovery. It's been really cool. Lots of fun.
Yeah, so I wanted to talk about your podcast. And Jared, maybe you could drop it in the comment section, a link for the podcast. Tell me, how did you come up with the idea? Tell me the premise behind the show. Tell me about some of your guests.
You're so awesome. Can I just talk to you every night, Sunshine? Because you are absolutely making my day. You're just so great. So it was Jarrett's idea. I absolutely cannot take any credit for it. And not only was it his idea, but he actually had to talk me into it. So he gets double credit.
Wow.
I thought, oh, that's a terrible idea. First of all, nobody's going to want to hear anything I have to say. Second of all, who are we going to talk to? Third of all, I don't have time. I work full time and I run the foundation full time. And now he wants me to do a podcast. I'm like, you're crazy. It's just, there's no way. So I just kind of stalled for a couple weeks because I felt I shouldn't say no right away. I should let him down easy, take a couple weeks to think about it, and then say no, which I already knew I was going to do. And then after a couple weeks, I just kind of started thinking about it. And I thought, okay, well, I'll talk to him and hear what he has to say. And I will tell you this, he's very persuasive. So if you ever need to talk to him about something, just be prepared to be convinced, because you will. Yeah, he can convince you of anything. But he did. And honestly, I'm really glad that I agreed to do it, because it's been super cool for me, and a really neat opportunity for me to talk with, people that I know, but maybe haven't, because you don't always just sit down and ask them questions, and so I've learned a lot too. I've learned a lot about Sublime's history, and so it's been really neat. Our very first guest was my dad, which was fun. Yeah. And then we interviewed Jacob, my nephew, a couple weeks ago, and that was really neat. We've talked with so many great people. We've talked with Todd Zalkins, Z-Man, who was a big part of, the Sublime history and a good friend of my brother's. And of course, he played the date rapist in the date rape video, which he's most well known for. Yeah. We've talked we had a great episode with Paul Milbury, the general manager of Law Records, and Yasad Williams, one of the owners of Law Records, and of course the drummer for Pepper. And we just recently talked with Marshall Goodman, Ross MG, who was the drummer for Sublime for a long time. And in fact, we had to do his in two parts because he had so many great stories. We talked to Miguel, and we already have had multiple requests to do more episodes with him. We've just had so many great conversations with people. Kyle Smith, who's just a phenomenal musician and person and incredible human being. We just did one with somebody completely Sublime, unrelated, and it was totally for me. This was the first one that has been totally for me so that I could fangirl out. And it was one of my absolute favorite musicians, Frank Turner from the UK. And that one comes out this Wednesday, March 3rd. That one was really neat because I actually was asked to do an interview on a UK punk podcast called
Oh,
Punks and Pubs. And anybody should check him out. He does a great job. In fact, before COVID, he would sit down, his whole podcast, he would sit down with different punk artists in a pub and interview them. And that's where they would do the shows, which I thought was such a great premise.
yeah.
But of course, now with COVID, he's got to do it over Zoom. So anyway, he asked me to be on his show, and I had a great talk with him, Liam Bird. He's just a wonderful person. And I noticed that he had Frank on his show before, and I'm a huge fan of Frank Turner, who's this UK musician. And so anyway, I just like totally fangirled out, and he's like, well, I could, connect you guys, and you could ask him to be on your podcast. I'm like, he's never going to do my podcast. But he said yes, and we did, and it was great. And I was a total geek. I'm sure I embarrassed myself. Yeah, it was bad.
Like I do that. I feel like I'm kind of doing that right now, but I don't care.
No, I can't imagine. I was such a dork, I'm sure. But anyway, it was my turn to fangirl out. I always tell Jarrett he's the fanboy for all the Sublime stuff. So this was my turn to just be a total dork. It was fun. And we've talked with Howie Spangler from Valley, just so many great people. It's been a lot of fun.
Awesome. And then what did we talk about the premise of the show already?
No, we didn't. I'm sorry. I got so excited about Frank Turner. The whole point of the show really, of course, is to spread the word about Bradley's house and the Nowell Family Foundation, and to raise money for it through sponsorships. But what is super cool is that we not only talk about music and Sublime history, we also talk about recovery, we talk about addiction. A couple of the great sponsors that we've had so far, one is Humble Collective CBD, and the gal who started that, Sarah, she lost her brother to a heroin overdose. And so we got an opportunity to talk with her. And then we have had another great sponsor, Compass Detox, which is a detox place in South Florida. So I like that we're able to really reach across different, different audiences, whether they're people that are Sublime fans or people that are just into music, people that are in recovery, people that are struggling with addiction or have a loved one. It really is sort of a broad audience, but it's a lot of fun kind of mixing it all together.
Okay, I have some questions coming in the comments, but since we're talking about your podcast, let me address this really quick. So last time that we talked, I remember, your voice so well and not being able to see your face. And you reminded me of that movie, Her. Do you remember, with Joaquin Phoenix and Scarlett Johansson?
I do remember you saying that. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, girl. Okay. So I'm just wondering, so your brother sang, your dad and your nephew sing, you have to sing. I know you do. Right?
I do, just not with a microphone and an audience.
The people want to hear you sing, Kelly.
Yeah, well, then they either need to be in my bathroom when I'm taking a shower or in my car, because I do sing at the top of my lungs in my car. That's my therapy. I have a convertible, and so I put the top down and I crank the music up and I sing, and that's how I deal with stress in my life.
Okay, what about this? What if we do a collection, and if we get up to $10,000, then you'll sing for us?
Oh my gosh. Boy, Sunshine, you're really making this difficult, because I will do just about anything to raise money for the foundation.
Oh, you heard it here first, folks. We are going to raise $10,000 for the Nowell Family Foundation, and Kellie Nowell's going to sing us a pretty little song.
Oh man, Sunshine, you're going to get it for this one.
Oh, I love this so much. I'm so glad I brought that up. Okay, I'm so excited. I'm totally going to get this started when we get off of this.
Oh my gosh, you're killing me.
Get excited, Kelly, because we're all going to be buying your albums pretty soon.
No. But I will sing something for you for $10,000.
Hell yeah, you will.
I am so going to regret this. I feel like you're the kind of person that's actually going to make that happen. That makes me super nervous.
Oh, dude, I already started manifesting it. It's already in the universe.
Oh my gosh. You're killing me.
Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, cool. Okay, I'm going to start addressing these questions that are coming. Luigi wants to know, do you plan to travel once restrictions start lifting? If so, where's the first place you're traveling to?
Okay, first, I just have to thank Luigi for his phenomenal playlist that he's been passing along to me. So this is Weege, right?
Yes.
Okay, so he has sent me a few playlists over the past week, and I am absolutely loving them. So big thank you to him. Yes, absolutely. In fact, before COVID hit, we had actually done our first out of state music festival. We went to Arizona Roots, and it was great. We had so much fun, and we were hoping to eventually in the next year or two get out to like Reggae Rise Up in Vegas and in Florida. Um, it's just whatever makes the most sense financially, because obviously we're trying to raise money to open the house, and I don't want to spend any of that money that we're not going to get a return on, because every dollar that we spend in generating revenue for the foundation is also $1 that we're not able to put towards helping somebody. So we really have to kind of balance, whether it makes sense to get us and all of our gear and stuff into another state. So Arizona was easy because of course we're here in Southern California. Florida would be a bit more difficult, obviously, but at some point we really would like to, because there are so many people across the country that, we'd love to at least be able to see and shake hands and that kind of thing. So I'm not sure what it will look like when we finally do, because like I said, it needs to be, financially viable. But we have also talked about having other people represent us at different shows on the East Coast and that kind of thing. And so, yeah, who knows? I mean, we'll see. We don't have anything firmly planned right now because, of course, who can plan anything right now? But we really would love to. And I do think at some point we need to start getting outside of Southern California.
Very, very good answer. I think the whole world is ready for you guys. Absolutely.
I think we need to take you with us, Sunshine. You have such a great energy.
I'll go. I will go. I'll go right into your luggage. Right up. Let's see. Mario says, can you believe Kelly was like, I'm going to run out of guests? I was like, no way. There's a million guests that were inspired by Sublime. So true.
I know it sounds kind of dumb, but we just recently started doing the podcast every week. We were doing it every 2 weeks, and that was sort of my comfort zone. And then, as I mentioned, Jared is a tad persuasive, and he had been saying for a while that we should start doing it every week. And of course that frightened me for two reasons. First of all, finding the time to do it. And second of all, I am concerned that we're going to run out of people to talk to. And I know it sounds silly, but I don't, like I said, I always think nobody's going to want to talk to me. Nobody's going to care what I have to say. But so far we're doing good. So I'm excited.
And then next thing you know, you're interviewing like your favorite musicians from the UK, right?
I know. It's true. It's true.
I love that so much. So everybody says they're going to contribute to this fundraiser that I'm going to put together. Everybody wants to hear you sing.
Oh my gosh, you're killing me.
Luigi wants to know, do you get to pick the song or do we get to vote on the song?
Oh, no. If I'm going to sing, I'm picking the song. Okay. Hell yeah. Yeah. That's where I draw the line.
Jared says you're the female fucking Larry King. You are.
Okay, no more questions from Jared. I am not. I just seriously, like, I freak out before every single episode that we record of the podcast. I think, I'm not going to know what to say. I don't know what I'm going to ask. I don't know. I just do. But I do that before every show we go to represent the foundation. I do it before every interview I give. I did it before this one. I'm like, what am I going to say to her? We already talked before. She's going to run out of things to ask me. But you don't. I don't know why I was worried about you. It wasn't you. I just thought, what am I going to talk about? But I should have known you'd have wonderful things to say. But yeah, I guess it's just my own insecurities. I'm always worried that, it's never going to work out, but it always does. So I really need to stop worrying about that.
Yeah, it is. I sometimes I kind of rack my brain too and get nervous before certain interviews. I did the same thing before this one too. And I was just like, oh my God, right? But no, it's like we're just best friends, just talking after 6 months.
Yeah. Just catching up. Yeah, it always works out.
It really does. But I feel the same way, but I just get overwhelmed sometimes too with all the interviews. So I can only imagine you have such an important mission to fulfill. I could see where you would get kind of overwhelmed too with all of this.
I do. And honestly, I mean, I feel like, Brad should be here doing all this. This is what he enjoyed. This is not what I enjoyed. This is what he enjoyed, So fuck him for not being here. Can I say that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Say whatever you want.
Yeah, I'm super, super irritated at him that he's not here to do this and I have to. But I do strongly believe in what we're doing. And that's honestly what drives me. And that's what gets me over my fears and insecurities is just knowing that even if I, open my mouth and make an idiot of myself, if it still reaches one person or gives one person hope or, gives one person a sense of wanting to be a part of what we're doing so that we can help others, it's not about me. And so if I make an idiot of myself in order to get that done, then so be it. But yeah.
I don't think you ever make an idiot of yourself. Let me just
Thank you. Thank you. And I'm honestly, I'm not saying that for you to tell me otherwise. I'm just being super honest. Like I get super nervous about this stuff and I really wish that it was Brad doing it and not me, but he's not here and I am. So there you go. You're stuck with me.
You're doing a great job, Kellie.
Thank you. Well, you make it easy, Sunshine, but thank you.
You're very welcome and thank you. So we have a few suggestions on songs. Why? Oh my God. All right. Okay.
All right. The 10 grand comes first, though. I got to remind everybody. But okay, what are the song suggestions?
Ouija keeps dropping yacht rock. I mean, what is yacht rock?
Okay. All right. Thank you. You need to ask him because he gave me this yacht rock playlist that has been remarkable. I didn't know either. I'd been hearing about it for, I don't know, the last few years, and I had no idea what yacht rock was. And someone finally told me a couple months ago that it's like easy listening type stuff from the 70s and 80s. But it's like, it's all the songs that but you kind of hear in the background and go, oh, I know this, just random stuff. And so I had been talking about it with, I think I was talking about with Marhill, our mutual friend, and he talked to Weege and Weege said, oh, I've got this great yacht rock playlist. So he sent it to me and now I listen to it every day at work because it's just great, like in the background type music. And then this past weekend I was with some friends and we went out on a little electric boat in the Newport Harbor. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, people, they're like, whoa, we need to put on some music. And I'm like, yacht rock. So we listened to yacht rock the whole time. It's funny. It's just funny. It's good stuff.
Ouija, thank you for the contribution to yacht rock. And now all of us know what yacht rock is.
Yeah. And he's like the master of yacht rock. This playlist has over 24 hours of songs on it. It's fabulous.
Please drop your yacht rock playlist in the comments so everybody can check it out.
Absolutely. It's epic. It really is.
Kellie, are you a fan of The Offspring? Because Jared wants to know, is the song going to be The Offspring?
Okay, first of all, yes, I'm a huge fan of The Offspring. So bite me, Jarrett. Yes, I love The Offspring, and my friend Jaime gives me shit for it, and I could care less because I love what I love. So whatever. But no, I'm not going to sing an Offspring song because he's got this remarkable range, and I have like a 4-note range. So we're going to need a song that's like in my 4-note range.
Ouija says, Ambrosia, biggest part of me.
I am not singing a yacht rock song. That's all I have to say. That would just make me feel as old as I am, and I don't want to do that.
Oh my God. Hall & Oates? Jen Watkins suggests maybe Hall & Oates.
Okay, love you, Jen, for suggesting that because I do love Hall & Oates and I saw them in concert like 15 years ago, and I'm not ashamed to say that. But yeah, no, I don't know. I can't even begin to think of what song it will be. Whatever. You come up with the 10 grand and I'll come up with the song. That's how this is going to work.
Okay. Let's address some of these other comments. Sorry, we got a little carried away there. Kellie, were you ever, this is from Michelle or Michael, I apologize if I'm not pronouncing your name right, Valvidesio. Kellie, were you ever in a Sublime video?
That's Michelle. I know Michelle. No, I have not been in a Sublime video. As you can see, I'm not even in this podcast video. So no, not in a Sublime video. But that was a good question. I've never gotten that one before.
Really good question. Okay, Jen Watkins wants to know, Kellie, do you have a favorite moment so far in interviewing during your podcast series?
Ooh, that's a good question. I do say every single episode is my favorite because right after I do it, I'm like, oh, that was the greatest. And of course, interviewing my dad was really special. Interviewing Jacob was really special. But honestly, every single person that we've talked to, there's been something that I just absolutely loved about it. Like seriously, every single one. And that's why I feel so fortunate because really, I mean, at some point we're going to run out of people that I like. And then I might have to talk to people I don't really like, but I'll probably like that too. I don't know. So no, I could not possibly pick a favorite moment. Although, as I did mention before, the one coming out on March 3rd with Frank Turner was my fangirl moment. I'm not sure that we'll ever top that. But yeah,
All right.
that's
Well,
my
I'm
answer.
excited. I'm super excited for that podcast to come out, and I think we'll be able to tell it all in your voice how fangirled out you actually got.
I'm so ashamed. I really am super dorky, but whatever. It is what it is.
Those are kind of the best moments, though, aren't they?
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Let's see. Eugene Bradley wants to know. Hi, Eugene. By the way, love you. Has Kellie ever discussed her group on commercial radio in SLO or LA?
That's a good question. I was on a local Orange County radio show. I'm hoping that we can get someone from K-Rock up in LA to have us on. I think that would be really cool. As of yet, we have not, but I haven't really put a big push. Everything that's happened so far has just kind of happened organically. Again, super grateful for that. It's just word of mouth. We've had great support from Jimmy Alvarez, TNN Radio, OC Music News. They've been so great about helping get the word out and having us on their show. I was on with Yasad Williams. Oh my gosh, that guy, he's such an amazing human being. And I can't say enough good things about Paul Milbury and Yasad Williams. I go on and on about them all the time, but it's because they are such phenomenal people. And you just don't run into people like that all the time, who are just so genuinely good and helpful and mean what they say. And especially in the music industry, as I'm sure Sunshine, right? Like, there's all kinds of people in every industry. I'm not trying to single out music in general, but there do tend to be some people that are a bit more cutthroat, a bit more, just all about the bottom line, which is a shame because music is an art, and anytime you're dealing with an art, there's creative personalities and it's subjective, and whether it's, commercially marketable or not, it's still meaningful, it's still empowering and life-changing for a certain group of people, even if it doesn't have mass appeal. So to find people that truly care about the art and the artists, I think is so unusual in this industry. And so I've been super grateful for Paul Milbury and Yasad Williams for that reason. But I've had a couple opportunities to do interviews with Yasad, and I just feel so intimidated by him because he's so natural. He's so good and just jokes around. We joke about his great big beard, and so that was really fun to do that with him. So anyway, my point was that it's just been a very organic thing so far, but at some point, we will get a bit more targeted and focused about getting the word out. And I have thought quite a bit. There are a couple people, I do know a couple people at K-Rock, and a couple people have mentioned, different DJs and stuff that would be interested in spreading the word. So hopefully we'll be able to do that soon as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. And I did have the pleasure of doing a morning show for, I'm going to say it wrong. I know it's a station in Maryland, and I want to say it's like 98.8 Ocean or something like that. And I apologize for not remembering, but they're wonderful. And they broadcast out of Secrets, the venue out there where a bunch of people have played who were on the house that Bradley built. So they asked me to do their morning show, which was interesting because that was 5:30 my time here on the West Coast. And I'm not a morning person, Sunshine, at all, like not even a little. So I probably should have just stayed up from the night before, but unfortunately I woke up at 4:30. I had 2 cups of coffee. I took a shower. I did some calisthenics trying to wake myself up, and I was still half asleep, but they were so great. Really nice people. So that's my radio show experience. There you go.
I'm sure you will have so many more radio show experiences to talk about the next time that we interview.
Yeah, just not morning shows.
No morning shows. Kellie does not do morning shows. Okay, Jared says he doesn't quite remember interviewing Frank Turner. He actually doesn't remember being able to get a word in on that one for some reason.
No more questions from Jared. I will say that it did take me about half an hour before I realized that I had not let Jarrett say a single word. And I thought, oh, this is not just my show. I have a co-host. I should probably acknowledge him. So I did after about half an hour. And
Oh,
Jarrett, I'm so sorry.
that is so funny. Oh
It
my
was
God.
my fangirl moment. I'm telling you, my fangirl moment. I accept it. But
Oh wow. I
yeah,
can't wait to hear this episode.
he didn't get to talk much. Sorry, Jarrett.
Let's see. Darren Scott Tennyson. What's up, Darren?
Darren, love him.
Have you had the opportunity to meet all the artists from the compilation album?
No, that's a great question, Darren. And no, I have not, because they all did their recordings, individually. Boy, that would have been amazing for me to be able to be there. And some of my favorite artists outside of Frank Turner are on that album as well, which I'm so grateful for. And I don't want to name names, but yeah, there are some of my absolute favorites on there as well. So some of them I do know, some of them I don't, but most of them I have not met actually. And that to me made it all the more special because, they weren't doing it because of me or my family. It really was in honor of Brad and Sublime. And it was a true tribute to them. And it was, it wasn't because they knew us or that they really knew much about what we were doing. It was just an opportunity to pay tribute, and they stepped up, and it was very, very humbling for me and my family. It really was, to see the people and the artists and the music that Brad and Sublime have influenced, and that people were willing to donate their song and their performance and their time and their studio time and all that. It was really, really humbling for us, but it was all because of Brad and Sublime.
Did you guys get to the day that the live stream happened? Did you guys get to hang out and watch it together at all?
No, I watched it here at home with my dog and my kids kind of going in and out. I loved it. I was having such a blast. I couldn't believe how long it went. It was done super last minute. I got to say, I mean, I wish I could tell you that it was, planned months in advance and we're so super professional and, we had it all ready to go weeks ahead of time, but we didn't. And I felt so bad because some of the artists were asking, what's our set time? I don't know. Haven't even had a chance to track it. It was super last minute, but we were just super stoked to get it out and to have all the artists that we did have on it. And some were, really last minute trying to get things together because of COVID. They're all separate in different places. And so we really wanted to have as many of those artists on as possible. So we waited till the very last minute to put it all together, which meant that we really didn't know what to expect until it came up on the screen. And there it was. Yeah, but it was great. Dane did such a great job putting it all together, and Justin Oltisvig did some special art for it, and we've been selling those posters on our website. And it was a lot of fun, and it was a cool opportunity for me to see these bands doing the song live that they had done for the album. We've talked a lot about how cool it would be to have a show where we have a bunch of these people do it, live. But of course, because of COVID, that's not going to happen anytime soon. So I feel like the live stream was the next best thing.
Yeah, I loved that. First of all, I had no idea that you guys did it last minute. I did see that the advertising for it was dropped only a few days before the actual show. I thought that was actually genius. And the flyer, because a lot of times when you pre-plan something too much ahead of time, people forget about it. When it's right there in your face, I think that's the best approach. And the was great because it matched everything. I loved it. I loved everything about it, Kelly.
Good. Well, then it was super intentional and we planned it all that way.
You did. I knew it. Okay, let's see. So Michelle says, I met you at the San Diego.
Yes, at the House of Blues.
House of Blues when Kyle Smith and Bumpin' Ugly played. It was a pleasure to meet you, and you're not dorky. Slow, yes, please. Jacob played at Slow Brew with Tropidelic and Badfish.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. In fact, that was the very last show that we did, not in Slow, but when Jacob was playing with Tropidelic and Badfish at the House of Blues in Anaheim. That was the very last show that we had the pleasure of doing last February before COVID shut everything down. And I think were able to go to a couple other places after that. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Yeah, but yeah, I met Michelle and Elizabeth down in San Diego at the House of Blues when Kyle and Bumpin' Uglies were playing. That was a lot of fun. And that's really neat too. I love the fact that now there's so many people that I've met or that I've talked to many times online or that I've packed these merch orders for. In fact, just packing one for Michelle, in fact, and for Darren. So it's just cool, that now I feel like these people are part of our family. They're like constantly supporting what we're doing. We have this amazing Facebook group called Bradley's House, where people share their stories about recovery or their struggles about recovery or encouragement or just really anything. I mean, it's not even necessarily recovery, but there are a lot of recovery stories in there, which is really, really encouraging and exciting and powerful. It's so far beyond anything I could have imagined. And that's where I'm really getting to know a lot of these people too. So that's cool.
Yeah, so that was one of my questions. You kind of addressed it a little bit, but where did I put it? How does it feel to help so many individuals? You guys haven't even opened the facility yet, and you're already saving and changing so many lives. How does that make you feel?
It's very humbling, and I feel like it's a huge privilege. It's something that we didn't even really anticipate at all. I mean, our focus has been on opening the house and that's when we would be able to help people. But along the way, all of these things are happening, whether it's, talking with people at a show or the Bradley's House group or any of these things where we have been able to connect with people and I hope, really help people. And that to me is really gratifying because, when you have a long-term goal, sometimes it can get a little frustrating that you're not achieving it as quickly as you'd like to. I would have loved to have opened the house 3 years ago, but we didn't have the funds. And, so we're still working on it. But the fact that we can still be a part of that community and interact with people and make a difference in people's lives, to me, that's super gratifying. And that really is what keeps me going. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I mean, there's a lot of times when I'm like, that's it. I can't do this anymore. I'm exhausted. I'm losing my mind. I can't, but the thing that keeps me going is that people are being impacted on a daily basis. And quite frankly, who am I to put my needs ahead of that? Who am I to be like, oh, I'm tired, I need more time off, when someone is struggling and going through the same kind of pain that our family has gone through. When you see that firsthand, it really renews my drive and my sense of urgency to get this done and to keep working. And honestly, I'm not complaining at all. I hope it doesn't sound that way. I feel really, really fortunate that I'm in a position where I can do these things, but quite honestly, I mean, it's tiring. It's tiring, not just for me, but for our board members. One of our awesome board members, Brindy Pepper, is here. She comes every single week to help me put together merch orders, and she helps me with all kinds of stuff for the foundation. And she has 2 other full-time jobs in addition to that. I mean, it's just, like we all have full lives, but the opportunity to give back, the opportunity to help, I feel like if any of us are in a position to do that, we need to do it. And so, and I do believe that we all have the opportunity, big or small, in some way, whether we're out at the grocery store and we smile at somebody and that helps them because they were having a shitty day, or, I mean, anything, giving a bottle of water to a homeless person, or, I mean, any little thing that we can do to spread that, that positivity and the just, I don't know, just as human beings to connect with people. I think that we have an obligation to do that. And so I feel really fortunate that I'm in a position to be able to do that. And so I just don't think that that it would be right for me to not do it when I do have the ability to do it. So that is what keeps me going, is just knowing that people are still being impacted, even on the small scale.
That's really amazing, because a lot of people, they do just overwork themselves and then they kind of get burnt out, I guess.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So what do you do to not get burnt out? What do you do for fun? What does Kellie do to relax?
That's a great question. And honestly, my therapist has been asking me the same thing for months. I don't know. Like I said, I've had a convertible for 12 years. I don't know what I'll do if that thing ever gives out, but I put the top down and I turn the music up loud and I sing everywhere I go. And so I get these little chunks of me time, you know, whether it's driving to work in the morning, literally. I mean, of course I'm in Southern California, but 50 degrees is cold for us. And I'm not going to complain because I know there's people in the East Coast and Midwest and all over that are freezing. So I'm seriously not complaining, but 50 is a little chilly, but I still put the top down in the morning and I crank up the music because that's how I get my head right for my day, you know? And so I just try to find little things here and there. I have two wonderful sons. They're 22 and 17. And one of them is engaged. The other one has a wonderful girlfriend. And so I love having them around all the time. I feel so fortunate that they want to be here and that they like to hang out. And so that is a big part of what replenishes me. And that's really about it. We know when I get a chance, I do live kind of near the coast. So when I get a chance to drive, today I was going up to see my dad in Long Beach. So I took the coast PCH. And so I drove through Huntington and Newport and that, you know, just seeing the water, being near the water, again, it's something that's super replenishing for me that I don't get to do enough. But I just try to find little times here and there. And then the rest of the time, I'm just a basket case. That's pretty much it. I'm either super relaxed or I'm a basket case. There's no in between.
Fine. What's on your radio whenever you're cranking it up?
Oh my gosh. That's a great question. There's so many different things.
Besides yacht rock, of course.
Right, besides yacht rock. So yacht rock has been my work jam lately because I can like work with it in the background, which is good. That's good background music. But when I'm listening to my own stuff, I listen to, of course, a lot of Frank Turner, Ballyhoo, Mike Pinto, Bumpin' Uglies. But I also like, I don't know, all kinds of stuff like Cavalli and Dennis Lloyd, which are more of like on the, I don't even know what genre those are. Of course, I love The Offspring, which Jarrett pointed out. Thank you very much. I love all kinds of stuff. I love Linkin Park, and I like 311, and I like, I don't know. I listen to a wide variety of stuff, and it just depends on what I'm feeling at the time. There's another, I'm not sure if they're a local band or not, but a friend told me about them called Nothing But Thieves. I've been listening to them a lot lately. They've got a great new album out. It kind of just depends, you know, if I'm feeling super stressed out, I like a little bit of a harder edge to it because, you know, I need to get my anger and frustration out on my music. But when, you know, things are a little bit happier, then I, you know, want something a little softer. And I listen to all different kinds of stuff. I'm not a huge country or metal fan, but pretty much everything else.
Okay, very cool. I'm like I'm trying to like read these comments, and like I know I'm not supposed to be talking about Jared, but I have to say it.
No Jarrett comments.
Keep them separated.
I love him. I do have to say that one of the best things that's happened because of that podcast is the friendship that I've developed with Jarrett and his lovely fiance, Anna, who's our audio engineer. They are the greatest. And whenever I'm having a super shitty day, I can text them and they make me laugh, or yeah, I don't know. They're great people. And I do feel so fortunate, as I said, too, you know, being able to connect with people through the Bradley's house group or through the events that we've gone to. And, you know, through the podcast, meeting you, like all these different things has really expanded my circle. And I feel super fortunate for that. I went through a really difficult divorce 7 years ago after being married for 23 years. And so the last 7 years have been really rebuilding for me, just kind of rebuilding my life and figuring out who I am, because I did get married at a very young age. And so I think it's been a real blessing for me to be able to have this opportunity to connect with all these different people and develop these new friendships at this, you know, stage of my life. And that's been really cool too. So as crazy as Jarrett is, I do love him, and I love Anna, and she's wonderful. Anna's amazing. One of these days we're going to have Anna on our podcast because she's incredible. She's like this amazing, talented dancer and musician, and she's brilliant. We use all these big words that confuse Jarrett. It's wonderful.
And she puts up with Jared, right?
Right? Yeah, she's a saint besides, clearly.
Okay, Louise says, I think there's a lot of value in reminding people that they can change the trajectory of their lives, and there's still great opportunity beyond, especially in sobriety. Especially with musicians, often songwriters, comedians, and artistic types make sobriety synonymous with losing their creative edge.
That's a great point. That is a very good point. And I do think that that's a big part of what we're hoping to do with Bradley's House, not only help people get clean and sober, but also stay in the entertainment business and stay sober. And that's a specific challenge because, as you know, artists are the ones that are the life of the party. And, everybody wants to buy them drinks and give them drugs or whatever, it may because they're having fun and they're partying. And for some people, they can do that and then they can set it aside and go back to their lives, and other people can't. And so I think it's just all of us understanding that we're not all the same, and that for some people that is a life destroying thing. And so for them, if they say no to the drinks and they say no to the drugs, then respecting that and still being able to have fun and have a party without that, and just realizing that everybody's different. And so it is a specific challenge in the music business to be able to do that, in any entertainment industry, really. But I think it's really cool to be able to create a community of people that are like-minded in that regard and can support each other in that as well. And that's a big part of what we're hoping to do through Bradley's House too.
What did I write? So when did you guys start the foundation?
We started it in July of 2017.
2017. So in the top of here, I put Nowell Family Foundation, making sobriety cool since 2017.
You should be our PR person. You're so good. I hope so. And I really do. I mean, like I said, some people struggle with it in a unique way. And that's something that I hope we can help people understand, is that, and I think someone who does not struggle with addiction has a hard time understanding that. They go, well, I can pick up a drink and then set it down, or, I can smoke some weed and set it down, or I can do a line of Coke and set it down. Whatever it is, if you can set it down, fabulous. If it does not destroy your life, if it does not get in the way of your hopes and dreams, if it does not destroy your relationships, if you can set it down whenever you want, then good for you. But not everybody can do that. And it doesn't mean that they are choosing to be an addict. It doesn't mean that they don't have self-discipline. It doesn't mean any of those things. And I think a lot of people get that twisted. They don't realize that it's a very different thing. And so for people that do struggle with addiction, it is not a choice. And I hope that we can help people to understand that, because some of my absolute greatest friends and people that I admire the most struggle with addiction and have to make that choice every single day to overcome it, every single day, throughout the day, every single day. It never stops. And I quite frankly have so much respect for those people, because most people will never have to do that. Most people will never have to continually make a difficult choice every single day the rest of their life. Yeah. So the people that do, in my book, are heroes, are absolute heroes. And I admire them so much and I respect them so much. And I feel so honored to call them friends and to have them be parts of my family. And I mean, these are people that are true heroes, because they're making those choices every single day, and they're making it for themselves. They're making it for the benefit of their families and their friends, because addiction impacts everybody. It's not a solitary thing. It impacts everybody. And so if you're struggling, that struggle overflows into every area of your life and all the people around you. So the people that have been able to overcome it, and I see a Kyle Smith sticker to your left. Yep, right there. It just stuck out at me. And he's a great example. We had him on our podcast. He's a wonderful human being. And he's such a great example of somebody who, not that many years ago, was homeless and on the streets because of his addiction. And every single day he makes that choice to overcome it. And it's not easy. It's not easy at all. And I hope I'm not minimizing it by saying this, but when you're in a position to be able to get clean and to embrace your recovery, I feel like it's something that really should be celebrated. I really do, because it's an incredible accomplishment.
It really is. And I do really, really love that about Kyle Smith, is that he's not scared to talk about it, and he actually loves to talk about it, and he loves to help people with his story. And some people can say, like, oh my God, Kyle Smith, all he ever talks about is his sobriety. You know what? Fuck you guys.
Yeah.
Because people need that in their lives, man. People need to know
exactly.
It's okay to be sober, and you can still be real cool doing it.
Yep. And honestly, I mean, I think it's important for us all to recognize that it's okay just to be human. We all have stuff that we struggle with. We all have bad habits. We all have destructive things that we do. We all make bad choices. We all, like nobody's perfect. There's not a single person that's perfect. So I love people that embrace their imperfections because it makes them real and it makes them relatable. And I think if we can all be more relatable to each other, we'll give each other a lot more grace. We'll be a lot more understanding. We'll be a lot more kind and caring and helpful. And ultimately, I think at the end of the day, that's a good thing.
And you mentioned, yes, that's amazing. Yes, absolutely on the top on what you just said. But I was forgetting you had mentioned that all these people were superheroes to you. Let me tell you, you are our superhero.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. I'm telling you, I'm going to call you every night, Sunshine. You're just making my entire week.
Well, I'm just being honest though with you.
Thank you. You're sweet. Thank you.
100%. I just love you and everything that you're doing. And especially, we've already talked about this before. I struggle constantly just trying to stay sober, But
Yeah.
you guys are helping me. And Kyle Smith and
Awesome.
seeing the Bradley House post every day, it's just one more reason to be like, okay, no, you're good today, just pick up your bass and play some music, or
Yep.
whatever. So you guys have been so helpful for me, and I know
I'm so glad.
thousands of people.
I'm so glad.
Let me address some of these comments here. Darren, Bradley's house is such an amazing group, so much love and great vibes, not only a place to share amazing Bradley or recovery stories, but also the perfect place to offer support to those in need. So happy to be a small part of such a beautiful thing and meet amazing people. We've lost too many to age.
Well said. Well said, Darren. Darren is a big part of the group and we appreciate him so much. He's always contributing. And that's really nice because I don't have as much time as I used to get on Facebook. So I'm not able to be on that group every day. But we have a wonderful social media director, Jen Armstrong. She keeps the conversation going, and people like Darren and other people that, just contribute on a daily basis to that conversation. That's what builds that community. And that's what I'm so just humbled by, that it's not me, it's never been me. I'm not in there every day. I'm not in there, you know, giving that encouragement all the time, but there are people that are, and that's what builds the community. And that to me is what's so cool, is that there's so many people that want to be a part of that, and I do think that it takes all of us. I can't do it alone. You can't do it alone. Nobody can do it alone. But if we all do a little bit, then it turns into this wonderful, big, beautiful thing that we all feel so blessed to be a part of.
Yes, absolutely. The village, right?
Yep, exactly.
Jen Watkins wants to know, Kellie, what was your first show or concert? And did you go to any with Bradley or your dad?
Oh, Jen, with the question, that's a good one. I'm super ashamed to say that I have no idea what my first concert was. And I know that seems weird, but we grew up with music. We grew up going to theater and concerts and all kinds of stuff. So there was never a moment in my life where there was a first in that regard. You know what I mean? I also have a super bad memory, so that's probably part of it. I also was pretty wild in high school. That might be a part of it as well. But yeah, all those things sort of contribute to the fact of I have no idea. I have sat down and tried to list the shows that, I grew up going to. There were a lot, and they were, all different kinds of music and that kind of thing. But there's nothing that I can remember as being like the first, which is kind of weird. I feel super bad. You get on Facebook and people are like, what was your first concert? I'm like, I don't know. I got nothing. So, but yeah, we did go to a lot of stuff growing up as a family. And then when our parents split up, let's see, I was 8, Brad was 10. We still kept going to stuff with our mom and with our dad. And I feel really fortunate that we were able to do that. But there's nothing that was really like a start or a first to it. It was just always there, which was cool.
Well, I mean, yeah, you were kind of just surrounded by it, right? Your brother
Yeah.
no, you probably were hearing so much music every night of the week that you were kind of, it's just like second nature to you.
Just the whole family. We came from a very musical family. And so it was a very natural thing. So when Brad started playing music, it wasn't anything unusual. I don't even really remember when he started because it was just a very natural, transition. both my parents are very talented musicians, and other people in our family are. And our family parties, there was always lots of music that people were playing and dancing and singing, and so it was just part of our growing up. And it didn't strike me that that was unusual until I got into high school and college, and started realizing that not everybody grew up that way, which was a cool thing. I think that was a real big gift that my parents gave us.
Yeah, that's so cool. Oh my goodness. Dude, I couldn't even imagine. That's like, you're such a legend, Kellie.
No, I'm not, but thank you, Sunshine.
Okay, Jay Mill, he says, I'm 5 months clean from alcohol, and the Bradley's House Facebook group has been huge help. Also, the compilation album is so amazing, and I couldn't have done it without it. Please keep doing what you're doing, Kellie, and you are making a huge difference. Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh. Wow. I can't even tell you. Hearing stuff like that, it absolutely reminds me that it's not about me. It's nothing that I ever could have done. It's nothing that my family alone could have ever done. It's this whole community of people that makes this happen. And honestly, that's the way it should be. I mean, that's the Sublime vibe. That's what it should be. It's not one person standing up and saying, look, I'm so great and look what I can do. It's all of us, just normal people, pulling together and being real and transparent and doing the little bit that we can, because everybody doing a little bit makes a really big thing. And so I'm so excited to hear that. That absolutely just thrills me, makes it all worthwhile.
Absolutely. One more from Lynn's. I have many addicts in my family, and I so appreciate your positive outlook and sweet attitude when it comes to addiction. The narrative needs to change, and you guys are doing a lot in support of that. So much love to you guys.
Awesome. I hope so. I hope that we are doing a lot, because honestly, if we did nothing else but make it easier for people to get the help that they need, then I think we've done a huge thing. And it's not even just addiction, but any problem that we have, if we feel like we're the only one that has that problem, or that it's a shameful problem, then we're not going to be open about it, and we're not going to get help. And to me, that's the biggest tragedy, because as I said, like, we all struggle with something. We all have our shit. We all need help in some area. And just because some things are more obvious than others doesn't mean that the things that I struggle with are any better or any worse than the things that you struggle with. And so we all need help at some point. And I think there should be nothing shameful about asking for that help. I've been going to a therapist for the last year and a half, and she's absolutely changed my life. And I feel so fortunate, because I'm not perfect. I have all this shit that I've been dealing with, and a lot of mistakes that I've made in my life. And I recognize that I need help for that. And so I think we all need to recognize that we can't do it on our own. As people, we're meant to live in community. We're meant to have connection, and there's nothing shameful about reaching out for help. And so if we can empower people to reach out for help and say, hey, I have a problem and I need some help, then that's, to me, is a huge thing.
100%. I agree. 100% I agree. Okay, moving on, Sunshine. Okay, Jared says, last one. Are there any more of those amazing bundles from the Day of Giving with those really incredible pins and other amazing merch available at the Nowell Family Foundation?
There are. I'm so glad he asked that. He's so funny. He knows I'm packing all these merch bundles tonight. We do have some left. Like I said, we had such an amazing outpouring of support on the Day of Giving, but we did not sell out. There were a few things we sold out of, but there are some things that are still available. So we left them up on the website. And then when they get a little bit lower, then we'll probably pull them off and just save them to sell at events and stuff. So if you want to get them, definitely go to the nowellfamilyfoundation.org and grab those now. But all of those, again, every bit of merchandise, every donation, everything goes straight to Bradley's house, to building Bradley's house. And that's just our total focus right now. And so everything that we're doing is really toward that end goal. So anybody that wants to help make that happen, you can donate through our Facebook, our Instagram, or directly on our website. You can buy merch, you can buy the album. All of that goes towards getting Bradley's house built.
And soon there will be a $10,000 fundraiser. Woo! Can't wait for that. That's gonna be real excited.
Oh man, I am really gonna regret that, but
No, you're
okay.
not. You're gonna end up like going on America's Got Talent and winning like
No,
$1 million.
no, I'm really not, but thank you for saying that.
Michelle, thanks for hanging out with us. I'm sorry, I'm trying to read everybody's comments, but there's so many comments, you guys. I can't get to all of them. I truly appreciate every single one of you guys. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. We've already been on here an hour, so I'm gonna have to start wrapping this up because Kellie has a lot of merch she's got to get ready. A lot of merch. You guys are just on it ordering the merch. So thank you guys. Get online and order some more. Okay, Kellie, you ready for this question?
Mm-hmm.
It's 2024. You're walking through the crowd at Bradley Fest, where thousands have come together in honor of your brother and your family foundation. What does that feel like?
Oh my gosh. I'm going to try to answer this without crying. Um, really gratifying. I will say that, really gratifying and humbling, because as I said, there's never going to be a point where I'm going to be like, look what I did. I will never be able to take credit for any of this that happens because it is such a group effort and it's a community. And I think I will feel two things. I'll feel incredibly grateful and incredibly sad that Brad's not here to see it, but that plays into the gratitude because I know we all lose loved ones, and I certainly know that my situation is not unique. I feel so fortunate that so many people remember him and love him. In fact, on my way home from my dad's house today, I did stop by the cemetery. I do that every now and then, and there was someone there that I have met before, and I get to give her a hug and say hi. And it just, when I pull up and there's people there, I just feel so grateful that there's other people that remember him and miss him besides me, and that helps to keep his memory alive. And I hope that we can help to do that for other people's loved ones as well. I hope that their loved ones are remembered by proxy through what we do for Brad, because everybody that you lose, it you lose a little bit of yourself, and so it's a real gift for me personally to be able to see so many people that love him and miss him and remember him and honor him, whether it's through doing the songs for the album or buying merch or coming to a show or anything, helping to get Bradley's house open. That's why we put Brad's name on it. It's because we're doing it out of our love for him. Everybody who donates, whether it's their time or their talent or their money, is doing it to honor Brad and by extension to honor every lost loved one to addiction. And so I think that will be the two things. I would feel very, very grateful and very sad that he's not here to see it. But that sorrow is bittersweet, and it's also a sorrow that I feel for everybody who's lost somebody. And we do sort of, have that bond. There's nothing that we can do to bring him back, but if we can help somebody avoid that same fate or give some comfort or some hope in any way, then that's a really huge thing. And I feel really fortunate to be able to be a part of that.
I love that. I love that answer. I always have to take
Thank
a
you.
minute to process it. Okay. Okay, awesome. Kellie, I love you so much. Oh my
I
God.
love you, Sunshine. And can I just say too, you are an incredibly talented musician. I mean, you get on here and you talk with people, and I know you talk with a lot of musicians and stuff too, but I just want to say how impressed I am with what you do, not only with your art and your music, but also in, just talking with people and being a part of the music community and getting out there and being open about your struggles and also your victories and sharing your talent and your beautiful energy. I think you're a wonderful human being and I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Of course.
Okay, we're gonna get this wrapped up. What is the next thing for the organization? What's the next big thing for Bradley?
So I wish that I had something wonderful to announce, but I really don't. I'm not really sure what our big thing is going to be next. We're just kind of playing it by ear, one step at a time. Of course, we're excited for the next disbursement from Law Records from the album. That's going to be super exciting, and we'll make sure to share that with everybody. That's going to be coming within the next month or two, I believe. And so that's really cool. I wish that we, because of COVID, I wish that we would do some shows or something. I feel like that's just sort of the natural thing for us to do is, to do a benefit show or to be at a music festival. Without those, we're just sort of, just like everyone else, we're kind of flying by the seat of our pants and, let's try this and let's see if this works. And that live stream was such a success. Hopefully we'll do another one soon. Yeah, but no firm plans with anything just yet. It's just kind of, waiting and seeing. I am talking with a couple of different fundraising organizations that hopefully will help us with that as well. I really want to keep this momentum going. Our goal is to raise about $750,000 to open and operate for the first year. And then, of course, once we get open, then we'll have to keep going with fundraising and grants and that kind of thing. So we have about $130,000 right now. So we do have a ways to go, but I really believe that it's not going to take us as long to get to the 750 as it has to get to the 130, just because we have so much more momentum and exposure and that kind of thing. But it's still the same basic things. We just need help spreading the word and donations. I know that there's people out there who are looking for a nonprofit where they can get a good tax deduction, and they want to know that it's going to go to a good cause and something meaningful, close to their heart. So I really feel like getting the word out will help us find those people, and that all it takes is one or two large donations to make a huge difference as well. So hopefully that will happen soon.
Absolutely. We're manifesting stuff, okay, guys? Where my millionaires at?
Absolutely. That's right.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's why I appreciate people like you too. I mean, it's just so great to be able to get on and talk with you and be able to help spread the word, because you have a specific audience. You have people that, follow you and are listening, that I may never reach. And so I feel really honored to be able to be on your show and all the other shows that I do, just because it's one more way to reach people. And whether we're reaching someone who wants to make a donation or whether we're reaching someone who's struggling and needs to know that there's hope, either one to me is just as valuable.
I love you. You're amazing. Everybody that's been watching at home, I love all you guys. Thank you all for hanging out with us tonight. We're going to get this wrapped up, but if you have questions, I'm sure Kellie will answer them once we get off, because I remember last time, Kellie, you talked to every single person that left a comment, and that was so beautiful and made such an impact on me. I hope you know.
Oh, I'm glad. I try.
Because really, what does it take? Just a couple minutes to answer somebody that asks a question. Like, I just thought that was so cool, because so many people forget about the little things like that.
Well, I feel so appreciative that there's so many people that want to ask questions and that are listening. And I still don't get it. I don't know why anybody wants to hear anything I have to say, but thank you. Thank you so much.
You're going to get it one of these days, girl.
I think so.
All right. Well, we are going to get rocking and rolling. I am going to create that $10,000 fundraiser so we can all listen to Kellie sing.
Oh my gosh.
You guys make sure to join Bradley's house group. You guys make sure to go to Nowell Family Foundation and buy some merch. And download that Law Record album, The House That Bradley Built, or get you an album or a CD set, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. Until next time, you guys stay safe, be kind, and keep rocking and rolling. Love you, Kellie. We'll talk to you later, girlfriend.
Thank you, sunshine.
Bye.